up, you guys? Welcome to the March 30th edition of NBA3Ball presented by Established to Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, getting ready to break down a big Monday slate, preview some Tuesday, talk a lot of fantasy ads. Let's get to the news in 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. Yeah, just check out the injury report really quick. Malik Monk's probable, so if he comes back, sounds like he will be. He was probable last game, but that would cut into Caleb Martin, Brad Wanamaker, and they're going to run pretty tight. Borrego seems to want to run a tight rotation. Wizards will be on a back-to-back. They'll certainly be kind of running it on them to see if they're a little bit worn down. Bradley Beal didn't play. Talk a little bit about that. Keep your eye on Westbrook, etc. Nothing really new with the Nuggets. Joel Embiid still out against Jokers. So we know Dwight Howard in the playoffs last year had success. So maybe a little bit more Dwight minutes. Still no George Hill. Hawks and Suns. This game is rescheduled. So most people in business know that when it's a rescheduled game, the injury reports are funky. So yeah, that's why you see all these availables and guys like that. So you may see on Yahoo like guys who are out who are actually in, so ignore that, it's wrong. But DeAndre Hunter is questionable, still had swelling, 60 to 70% chance to play, so if he can't go, I almost think he may not. Like swelling your knee, you should give it like a week. So we'll see if he's out there. It'd be more Bogdan, a little bit more Tony Snell, who's been playing pretty well. And obviously a little bit more offense for Trey and John Collins and those dudes. Clippers just played, and the Magic have a couple positives here. Terrence Ross is probable, so it sounds like he's going to be back. Keep an eye out on that. Would think he has a minutes cap on him. He does have a legit injury. And also Michael Carter-Williams had that knee contusion, so he's back. So that'll cut into your R.J. Hamptons, probably the most. Also, Dwayne Bacon would take a big hit, which is what we were kind of talking about in the last edition. Still think Chuma's fine. Still think Otto Porter's kind of fine, and this will lose a little bit of value. Let's get to the basketball action. Probably have to skip a couple games that weren't too noteworthy, but definitely noteworthy that Russell Westbrook drops 35, 14, 21 dimes. He was hunting for that 25 dimes, I feel like. Was really looking for his teammates almost too much late. They still get the win. Obviously a huge game. Great matchup. Talked about it in matchups and on the pod today. Pacers just, they're built for him to crush them for how they like to play defense. Denny Avdia likes to get, quote, activated. Got 32 minutes. Jerome Robinson played pretty poorly. Still got 21 minutes. And also the surprise here was Chandler Hutchison getting out there for 25 minutes. Played some pretty big minutes late. So certainly not a guy you're going to want to add. And then also Daniel Gafford. Poor guy was playing great. Bad ankle sprain. So they're back to kind of two centers. So Alex Len and Robin Lopez will split. They may go smaller. Rui Hachimura, I've been saying it for a month now. He's going to be the number 3 scoring option. Drops 26 today. Easiest play of the day at small forward. Pacers lose this one. Play their main guys pretty good minutes as Jeremy Lamb got hurt late. Also no Doug McDermott. And so we saw a little bit more TJ McConnell, but mostly just really tight rotations. Edmund Sumner was kind of the guy who benefited the most minutes-wise. Nothing really to say. Great win for the Pelicans. Not much to say. Zion and Brandon Ingram are just really good. Ingram played pretty well down the stretch, hit a really big shot. Nickeil Alexander-Walker continues to get a ton of burn. With no Lonzo Ball, didn't really have much of a chance to play, it sounds like by Stan Van Gundy, but he's getting a little closer. Kyra Lewis, man, he's so freaking fun. Josh Hart is just such a stat monster, too, when he gets minutes. No Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. Tatum hangs a big line, 34 points for him. Luke Cornett finally doesn't really cut into Robert Williams this time. Pretty good minutes from Robert Williams late in this game. Looks like they were going to kind of make a run. He made some really tough defensive plays, rebounded well, 5 assists as well, so you feel awesome about Time Lord going forward. Evan Fournier, about as rough as you could get in a debut, going 0-10, but they're going to play him a lot, even when Jaylen Brown comes back. It'll kind of cut out your Grant Williams and Pritchards and Neesmiths and Wagner minutes and all that. They're going to run it pretty tight, which is not a Stevens thing to do. We'll see if that sticks. Nets get the win. Always score 112 against the Wolves as Harden goes bonkers. 38, 11, and 13. Just great passing from him. Really big volume. Him and Kyrie were just a two-man show. Nick Claxton could see the minutes kind of dipping down. A little concerning. LaMarcus Aldridge still out. It sounds like at least 3 or 4 more games. Blake Griffin picked up 4 fouls in the first 6 minutes of action. To the Wolves, be still my heart. Jaden McDaniels going off. Yeah. You know I'm all about that Jaden McDaniels life. He's been playing awesome. Great job on Harden early. Guarded Kyrie, locked him down for a little bit. Harden obviously got going late, but Jaden McDaniels, they need this dude. So I am all the way in on picking him up. He get the win, and it was an easy game just to fade in DFS. Jimmy and Bam did kind of go off a little bit. But B. Leeds makes his debut, only gets 5 minutes. He runs a lineup with Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Adebayo, Iguodala. So he's basically playing the 4. Precious Achiuwa was straight back up to Bam. That's very interesting. That may squeeze Ariza a little bit. Certainly didn't play well today. I'm kind of avoiding this whole Miami power forward situation. I think it's going to be very situational. We know Spoelstra kind of mix it up. He wants to find a continuity group he always talks about. So I think it'll be Ariza, but if Bjelica is hot, he'll kind of come in and this and that. So nothing really going on there. Tyler Hero, solid, but nothing really too encouraging. Oladipo still in play. Goran Dragic back, looked kind of rusty. To the Knicks, Nerlens Noel certainly smashes. 4 blocks, 2 steals, 30 minutes. May not be able to play 30 every night, but should be pretty encouraging stuff with upper 30s. Definitely a guy you're going to count on. Taj Gibson was his backup. Julius Randle did play after missing a game for a thigh contusion. Sounds like he should be fine going forward. And this guard situation is such a mess. Quickly, Rose, Alfred Payton, I'm not a fan. I think Alec Burks fine, but those point guards I just mentioned, I'm kind of just out. Grizzlies get the win. Couple injuries here. Justice Winslow didn't play with a thigh bruise, and also Grayson Allen hurt his hip and did not return. That explains this DeAnthony Melton smash. 23 points, 28 minutes. Desmond Bane also got 28 minutes. We know Taylor Jenkins wants to run 10 men, so if Allen's out, that would be their 10. So that would help out Xavier Tillman getting consistent minutes, but it won't really help out Melton, push him over the top. Still, it's Justice Winslow. Maybe he misses more time. I'd certainly feel better about that. So yeah, if you want to pick up Melton, you're not dropping something you're really relying on, I'm definitely down for that. Christian Wood misses another game for an illness, not COVID, so hopefully he's back for the next one. Kelly Olynyk just smashed again, despite getting worked by Jonas Valanciunas. Jae'Sean Tate continues to just earn every single minute of playing time. Kevin Porter Jr. shot it terribly, but you gotta love seeing 36 minutes as he's kind of putting some space between these other kind of perimeter players. Sterling Brown, namely, who we know Silas likes a lot. So definitely feel good about Kevin Porter Jr. despite the shooting struggles. Daniel House returned. Didn't have much going on there. So yeah, I'm kind of just on the fence with him. Thunder gets smacked by the Mavs. Who cares? But the interesting thing here are their front court minutes. Alexa Pokashevsky gets 34 minutes, scores 21. Roby 34 minutes, shoots the ball 14 times, brings the defensive stats like he usually does. He's been really good there. Moses Brown, 30 minutes, good split. You want to see that 28, 29, 30 range with him and Tony Bradley. Certainly they believe in him. Gotta feel great about him going forward. Steve Mikhailuk does start here for Lou Dort. We'll see if that continues. He was on Luka duty early. Did okay and shot the ball great. Got a little garbage time, so I wouldn't pick him up from that. Kings get the win, 132 points. Talked about in matchups today. Were really built to score points on the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox, doesn't come through big time, but has a pretty solid game. Halliburton double-double with 10 dimes. Rashawn Holmes had beat up on Jakob Poeltl. And also Buddy Hield, was kind of playing a little better too. Spurs, DeJounte Murray was hot early, kind of went away a little bit, still finished with a solid line, 23, 8, and 7. And Jakob Poeltl, pretty good game again. Keldon, rough game. He's losing that kind of must-hold material just because all those Spurs are still around. Cavs predictably get smacked. Story here is Isaiah Hartenstein. He gets 5 points, 7 dimes, 14 boards. So after the game, he learned some things from the Joker and kind of bragged about his passing. JB Bickerstaff like his passing. So, not the greatest pickup, but if you've got dead weight on your roster in a deeper league, sure, why not, right? Look at this team. They've got nothing. They're not playing Jetty Osman right now. They're not playing Dylan Windler right now. So they need a big man. Jared Allen not back from a concussion yet. So you could have some little short-term value here. Steph returns as the Dubs get the win. Looked pretty good. Was a little hobbled at times, so not 100% over that. Kelly Oubre Jr. held his minutes. That was great to see for him. Jordan Poole did not, so he's kind of a drop from the situation. Thought he would be in the mid-20s, only 18 against the Bulls. Not great. James Weissman is bad, but they're going to keep playing him, so keep rolling him out there. So the Bulls lineup changes here as Thad Young starts. Marketing gets benched. Even loses some backup power forward minutes to Daniel Tice. Not great for Marketing, as I was saying, kind of at the deadline. He might be a drop if your league's shallow. I don't feel good about him at all. Patrick Williams, on the other hand, looks really good. Vooch, Vooch is going to do Vooch things. No worries there. And that'll be fine. Tice will be low-key, just not really every night valuable. Clippers, no Paul George, still smashed. This is the same right foot for Paul George that cost him a few games in February. Hopefully it's back-to-back. Keep an eye on Kawhi. They play the Magic. You'd think Kawhi definitely sits today. So Terrence Mann, dude, 34 minutes. He is just earning playing time every night. I think he's worth an ad. Pistons smash on the Raptors. Story here is Hamidou Diallo, 19 points, 10 boards. Awesome game from him. Talked about after the game that Casey likes his energy and all that good stuff, so he looks awesome. Saben Lee, kind of okay. I'm not buying that. I definitely would buy Diallo more than Saben Lee's output. Let's get to the ads page, assuming Jae'Sean Tate's own. I have Jay McDaniels, number 1. I would never leave him on the wire. You guys listen to this. You know how much I love that man. I think he's really good. Isaiah Roby at 13% stupid. Thomas Satoransky 18% dumb. D'Anthony Mellon, probably the hot pickup of the night with the injuries. Alexa Pokashevsky, I think he's worth rostering. Pat Williams still just underowned. Hamidou Diallo, I probably have lower than most people. Josh Jackson didn't play, so it was more of a thing where they're getting a look at him, looking at Tyler Cook. So I think Hamidou Diallo certainly overachieved. Gonna have to worry about Killian. A lot of roadblocks. Still like him as a pickup, but not like a blow your fab kind of pickup. Terrence Mann until Paul George gets back, like him. Dean Wade until they start getting bodies back. Same with Isaiah Hartenstein. Alex Len without Daniel Gafford. Saban Lee until they get their point guards back. Luke Kennard until Paul George comes back. And then Desmond Byrne until we see some health come back with either Justice Winslow and or Grayson Allen. That's it. Catch you guys next time.